Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all had a wonderful weekend. Hopefully this show finds you in good spirits and all of that good stuff. My Sunday was a bit crazy. Oh no, what's going on here? Hold on. Let's try that again. We're back. Okay. So hopefully your weekends were good. Mine was exactly what it needed to be. You know, filled with a lot of good stuff, a lot of good people, and all that. So hopefully you guys had a wonderful, relaxing weekend on your part. Okay. But we got to talk about this, guys. Like I said, I have another show scheduled for noon. That's 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. With the great aunt who has been working tirelessly to find the Bradley sisters, okay? And if you don't know anything about that story, don't worry. I will be doing a big breakdown on that story before we have her come on and talk about the new developments, because there has been some breaking news in her story, or in the Bradley sisters missing case. This is a case that's been going on for well over 20 years. And now there's been a new break in the case after 20 some odd years. So, of course, I'm bringing on the great aunt who is spearheading the search for these two girls, has been for the past 2 decades or more. And wanted to get her opinions about some stuff, especially the new information that's been dropping as of late, okay, as of the past few weeks. So that still will be going on here at noon. So be sure to tune in for that. That is not over. That show is still happening, okay? Some scheduling issues happened last minute last week. We weren't able to do it, so we're going to be doing it today, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be sure to be there, because I think it's an interview you don't want to miss, to hear her own 2 cents, her own 2 pieces and a side of mac and cheese, okay, on this whole situation. It's going to be very, very intriguing. Anyway, we got some things we got to get into, guys. So do me a favor. Hit that like button down below, because this is not the only show I have today. So we got many miles to go before we sleep. So hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes. That would really, really mean a lot. And of course, if you haven't done it yet, y'all, come on. Crush that subscribe button. Okay, it's that simple. Just crush it. Okay? Hopefully you'll thank me later. How's that? All right. And of course, it'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. All right. Anyway, let's get into this, guys. This one is crazy. Now, this is something that I saw over the past few days. Obviously, this is a conversation that's been popping off over the past few days. And of course, I wanted to bring it up. But due to scheduling and other things, other stories that were already on the docket for myself to bring to you guys, I wanted to sit on this to see if there was going to be any more information, any more anything revolving around this particular story, where there were 6 women, all under the age of 40 years old, that have been found gone within a 100-mile radius of each other in Portland, Oregon. Now, obviously, when you see something like that, when you hear about 6 different women, all found within, I think within the span of 6 months of each other, something like that. Sorry, February, March, April, May. Sorry, 4 months of each other. Okay, between the time of when the first body was found to the last body was found. 4 months, a 4-month span. Okay, and it's pretty crazy to hear this kind of information, especially when you have it within a 100-mile radius. Now, of course, I got a lot of questions. Okay, I got questions about this. There's still information that's being told that obviously 5 different agencies are investigating this particular situation. There's a lot that's going on here that makes you want to know, makes you wonder, is there an SKer, serial K, in the area? But of course, we got to dive into this. We got to look into this and see what the story is here for real. Because again, man, do I have questions. But the information here still kind of leaves us with a lot of wide open holes. Okay. So as you see, is there an SKer and a serial K on the loose in Portland? 6 women all under the age of 40 have been found gone in suspicious circumstances in secluded areas in a 100-mile radius in the last 3 months. Okay. I say 4, but okay. 3 months. Okay. Give or take. But as you can see, this is a very strange situation. Very strange indeed. Let's look at this article. All right. So 6 women have been found unalived in secluded wooded areas in the last 3 months within 100 miles of each other, triggering fears that there is a SK, got to use these code words, guys, that may be in the area. Now, before I go into all of this, let me just say something really quick. All right. No matter what side of the political spectrum you are on, I know right now, Portland, Oregon is in bad shape. Okay. It doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you're on. If you're going, hey, decriminalize, all drugs, no big deal, blah, 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 all that stuff. Okay. If you are in that realm, fine. Hey, that's on you. That's your own political opinion. But then you also got the other side going, wow, by doing that, Portland's going to go down to hell in a handbasket. All right. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if this is the cleanest place or the most corrupt place. Okay. This is not good. Given the fact that what's been going on with Portland, how there have been videos, there have been documentaries literally made showing the outcome of what's been going on in Portland, Oregon over the past few years. I mean, since the time we got locked up all the way to now, Portland has been in some bad shape. So there is quite a bit of questions on if this is really an SKer situation or if this is just the outcome of, if this is the results of what's been going on in Portland, Oregon over the past few years. Now, I'm not trying to get political here. I'm not. All I'm saying is you see the turn of events, and the turn of events have not been so great now. It's been bad. It looks like, it looks like Walking Dead out there. It's not good. Okay. It's complete anarchy. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that these women are a part of it. Okay. That they're the ones walking around in a zombie-like state. Not at all am I saying that. I'm saying that maybe they are the victim of what Portland has been producing out there as of late. Within that anarchy, within that crazy stuff. Maybe people out there are taking certain liberties that they shouldn't be taking, like taking somebody's life. But let's continue on, okay? Let's continue on. All right. The victims were all found in suspicious circumstances in discarded barns on the side of a road or hidden among bushes. The first victim was found on February 19th. And the most recent was discovered on May 7th. So only a few months ago. I mean, only just last month. I apologize. Only just last month. I keep forgetting. We just at the start of this month, right? Of this new month. Okay? So this is the reason why it's very, very serious, why we should be taking this situation very, very seriously. And I say this to all you beautiful women out there. Oh, and men, let's not forget, because you never know. Okay. Obviously, it seems like if this is really an SKer, this particular monster has a type. He focuses on, they focus on women, because we don't know whether the monsters, what their gender is. Okay. We don't know whether it's male or female. But we do know that right now, 6 women have been found gone within a 100-mile radius of each other. Okay. So please, ladies and gentlemen, keep your heads on a swivel. Okay? Period, point blank. Let's continue. Now, police have released the cause of one woman's demise. She died as a result of blunt force trauma to the head and neck. Now, I want you to remember that. I'm going to highlight that one more again. I just want you to remember that piece of information, because I think that's incredibly important. And hopefully we'll be able to circle back here in just a second with that phrase. The other woman's causes of demise have not yet been revealed. It remains unclear what the women have in common, if anything. Now, of course, these are all common questions that we should be asking, especially when you have 6 people, 6 women, 6 people, whatever, that died and have been found in wooded areas, discarded in this type of fashion within 3 months of each other. That is some crazy stuff. Now, the three local police departments are working together to determine whether the passings may be connected. Again, they have 5 right now as we speak, and we're going to go look at this photo here in just a minute. Okay, and of course, we're going to be looking at all the women's, naming all of them and all that here in just a minute. Okay, but I do think that, you know, you got to remember that they still have 5 agencies that are working diligently on this piece of information. Whether or not they have figured out the connection or not, we still do not know right now. But we're going to talk about those things. You know, we're going to go into the mind of maybe a detective's mind for a second, or the mind of an FBI agent or something like that. You know, one of these acronyms: CIA, DEA, FBI, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue. So some of the families say they are now fearful that more women will be next. Now, somebody said this, the sister of one of the victims said, I don't want to ever scare people, but reality is there are women dying at awful numbers. Okay. So her sister, Robin Speaks, which of course is one of the victims, her sister, a mother of 3. Okay. So the victim's name is actually Joanna. Joanna Speaks. Okay. Her sister, Robin Speaks, is the sister of the victim. Her name is Robin Speaks. Okay. Sorry. So her sister, Joanna, the one who passed, a mother of 3 and a recovering addict, was found gone. She was the first one to be found. Okay. I got that wrong again. I am so sorry. So again, let me repeat this again. Her sister, Joanna, mother of 3 and recovering drug addict, was found in a barn in early April, just weeks after her vanishing. She died with blunt force trauma. She was the first one to be to give out the cause of demise. That's what I meant. Okay. So she died from blunt force trauma injuries to the head and neck, and police say her body had been moved to the location where she was found once she had been unalived. Okay. I don't want to scare people, but the reality is there are women dying at awful numbers. Women need to pay attention and need to know there are dangers, and they're clearly taking the lives of people we love. Okay. Now, again, Kristen Smith, which is this young woman right here, this picture, okay, right here, Kristen Smith. She was the first body to be found. Okay. First body to be found on February 19th. Now, let me just go up to this photo because I think that's really important to see. All right. Now, as you can see here, actually, I think I got a better one here. Do I have that? I thought I did. Hold on, guys. Let me 1 second, guys. Just fixing something so we can see this a little bit bigger. Here we go. A little bit better. Okay, so this is a little bit better. Okay, so of course, as we can see, 6 women found unalive in Oregon in less than 3 months. Now, clearly, before we jump into all of this stuff, 6 women found within a 100-mile radius. Yes, that's still quite a distance, but at the same time, people drive a lot. You can move around quite a bit and do some very, very bad things in a very, very short amount of time. Okay. Now, one of the things is that there have been many women, as we see here, that have lost their lives within 3 months. Now, to me, when I see something like this screams to me like there's something up, like this is an SKer. Okay. Let's keep that real 100%. Let's just keep it real for 2 seconds. When I see something like that, and I think this is the reason why the media is grabbing this story and asking all these questions like, what the heck does this all mean? What the heck is really going on here? Is there really an SKer in Portland's midst? Right? Raven just said, why did 6 women that we know of have to pass before the public heard about this? You know what? That's a very good question. Now, you know what? Let me just say this. You never know. I don't know how Portland works anymore. I don't know how they roll anymore. I'm not sitting here saying that all of Portland is just a cesspool of anarchy, but you never know. I don't know. The way that we see it, the narrative that's being put out here, it doesn't look very friendly. It looks pretty dangerous and very depressing, to be really honest. And I wonder how much of this is really, how much attention is going to the people that have gone missing. And you got to remember, there's a lot of people that are out there that are succumbing to their own addictions. And I'm not sitting here saying that these women are at all that. Let me make sure that's abundantly clear. I'm not saying that. But I don't know. I just feel that maybe it's like I said, maybe it's because of how the world is over there. I don't know. It is just so odd. And it does make you wonder why things are going the way they are right now, especially if anyone has gone missing. I'm surprised there hasn't been a missing persons poster on any of these women, at least 5 of them, because 1 is still unidentified. Let's take a look at this really quick. Okay. So these are not in chronological order. Okay. But we have Charity Lynn Perry. She's 24 years old. She was found gone in a culvert on April 24th. Then, of course, we do have the first woman that was found on February 19th. Her name is Kristen Smith. She was found in a wooded area in Pleasant Valley. Her body was identified on May 25th. Then we have down below, we have Bridget Leanne Ramsey Webster. She's 31. She was found on April 30th. Police say her death is suspicious, but have not released details. Now, I'm wondering what the heck happened there, too. If you say, oh, it's suspicious, I go, well, then how it be suspicious, though? How suspicious are we talking about, baby? That's what I'd like to know. Then we have Ashley Reel, 22 years old, was found on May 7th. She was the last one to be found, a month after vanishing from a fast food restaurant. Then we have an unidentified Native American or Alaskan woman was found unalive on the side of a road less than 3 miles from where Smith was found. So 3 miles away from where this young woman, 19-year-old Christian Smith, was found. Okay. And then, of course, like we just heard from her sister, okay, or we just read a quote from her sister basically saying, hey, we need to be safer out here. Joanna Speaks is found. She's the only one where they have given her COD, her cause of demise, okay, cause of death. But she is found inside a barn in Ridgefield, Washington on April 8th. The cause of her demise was blunt trauma to the head and neck. But she's the only one that they've said, oh, here we go. Here is the cause of demise with these code words. So these are all the 6 women that were found within less than 3 months of each other. Again, first person that was found was on February 19th. Last person that was found was Ashley Reel, right over here. Let me just use my mouse. Okay. She was the last person to be found on May 7th. Which is very interesting because if you really look at this, because if this is the pattern of a serial monster, all right, got to use these code words. But if this is the pattern of if you look at this and if this really is connected, they're all connected, guys. Think about this for a second. So February 19th is when a body was found. Okay. Kristen Smith was found on February 19th. The last time or the next time this person does anything that we know of or where a body was found. Okay. Now we don't know. They don't say anything about the unidentified Native American or Alaskan woman. They don't say where she was found or what day she was found. Right. So we unfortunately have to kind of skip the unidentified woman. But the last time or the next time somebody actually is found closest to Kristen is actually Joanna Speaks. April 8th, her body is found. So you're telling me February, March. So this monster went a month and a half maybe of doing nothing. And then all of a sudden, this person goes down a list. Just one after the other within weeks of each other, if you really think about it. It's very strange, right? And the thing is that this all goes down to if these are connected or not. You never know. In a town or in a city where there is just really no order, where the people are out here doing very, very bad things, there's addiction. There are people who are desperate to keep chasing the dragon, if you get what I'm saying. I can see, if there is heightened crime in the area, there could be more of this happening. It could be coincidental. But at the same time, I look at this and go, I don't know, man. It's weird. Because you got one that was found in February, then nothing, allegedly, let's just say that, allegedly, that we know of so far, nothing for about a month and a half. And then all of a sudden, it just skyrockets. And then it's the next person, the next person, the next person within weeks of each other. Now, we've talked about this before when it comes to serial monsters. We've talked about this before, where it'll be a thing where, remember, it was in Cali too. The guy that was running around just pulling the trigger on people, pulling out the pew pew and pulling the trigger on people. Remember that story? Remember that, y'all? He was going around and just doing that. At first, it was like he did it, and then he stopped for a while. And then he ran off and he was like, pow, 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 pow. He started just pulling the trigger on everybody, right? Like he got his fix. It felt good, I guess. And then he was like, well, if I got away with it this time, let me do this again. And it was like bang, 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 bang. So then I look at this and I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe this is the same pattern. Maybe this is the same doggone thing. I don't know. I'm just a guy telling a story. Okay? But let's take a look at some of these things here, though, too. Okay? Now, this is the last person that was found. Okay, Ashley Real, 22 years old. Here's a screenshot from security cam footage, I guess, of her walking into a fast food restaurant. Again, she was last seen on surveillance video at a fast food restaurant on March 27th. Now, there's a possibility, and this is all speculation, guys. Let me just say that again real quick. I feel like I should pull this up here too. Just these are just theories because I don't know, right? Like I said, I'm just a guy telling a story, okay? Telling y'all the story and having the open discussion with y'all, okay? So speculation warning when I say this. But hear that again. Look at this again. This last piece. It says last body was found. Last body to be found was Ashley Real. Her remains were spotted by a fisherman in a heavily wooded area in Eagle Creek on May 7th. Okay. This next part is very important. She was last seen on surveillance footage at a fast food restaurant, not like May 6th, but March 27th. She had been missing for weeks. If that literally was the last time she was spotted alive. So let me just ask that. Again, speculation warning, warning, warning. Okay? Speculation warning. Let me just say this, and don't come at me. I'm just asking a very logical question when you hear this piece. Could there be a possible situation where they all have been taken and held for a while before they were actually discarded? This, for example, could there be a pattern here? A lot of these serial monsters like their patterns. What is the possibility? What are the possibilities of this monster? We don't know if it's he or she. Let's just keep her neutral right now. What if they have a pattern? They go, they grab this person, they hold them for a little while, do the unthinkable, and then discard of the body. Now, again, that's speculation, but she had been missing for weeks, if this is correct. For weeks. Not just for like a day or two, and then boom, she was found in a wooded area by a fisherman. The last scene, she was last seen on surveillance footage at a fast food restaurant on March 27th. And then you got to remember, March, April, May, maybe 6 weeks later, her body was found somewhere else on May 7th. Now, I'm wondering if that's the same thing with every other victim. We got to remember, when we look at these stories, when we see these patterns, or when we see these things, when we hear about these tragic stories of these young women, a question you got to put in your mind is there a pattern? We got to find a way of what is it that makes them connected? How are they all connected? Because they don't fit a specific look. It's not like he just really liked dark-haired, brown-eyed girls. You have Kristen Smith. She's a redhead, right? Everybody else still has dark features, dark hair, right? Dark hair, dark eyes. But at the same time, you look at it and you go, did this monster have a thing for a specific look? I mean, that's one of the things. Then you got to wonder, aside from how are they connected in that way, the other part is, did they run with a certain group of people? Are they connected because they went to the same watering hole? They all went to the same bar or something like that. Or they're within a certain friend group, or maybe they have certain activities, hobbies, etc. How are these women connected? And if they are connected, how can we get this monster and bring this monster to justice? These women all are various looks, various ages, and various backgrounds. But what is it that makes these women connected? If this is done by a monster, by a serial monster, what do these women have in common? That's one thing I'd love to know. Then also at the same time, since there are 5 different agencies that are working on this right now, let's keep it real, y'all. Did they dig up DNA? And if they did dig up this DNA, are all the DNA, is the DNA matching? Is it all similar? Is it all the same DNA on every single last person? Is there a ritual in how these bodies were found? I hate to say that, but you gotta ask these hard-hitting questions. Were they found in a specific way? Were they tampered with? If you get what I'm saying, meaning, you know what I mean. Were these women SA'd? Any signs of trauma to the body aside from, let's just say, a wound? Now, they said about Joanna Speaks, she's the only one so far that they've said blunt trauma to the head, right? Is it the same for every single one? Or were they all unalived in different ways? These are all the questions that you got to ask. Okay? Now, Deanna Fisher just said, thanks for the comment. They said they were all easy targets. The SK picked people he thought wouldn't be missed or could be lured with the D's. You know what? I will say this. We don't know. We don't know. The only thing that we know so far about anyone's background that I've heard of so far is Joanna Speaks. She is a mother of 3 and she is a recovering addict. Now, what she's doing in Portland, Oregon, I don't know. I don't know. Or, what was she doing in the radius, the 100-mile radius of that area? I don't know. And it's unfair to automatically assume that it's, because of addiction that she was down there and all that stuff. We don't know the information. So, I mean, we can throw that in there as a piece of speculation, but I don't know. Okay. Because we don't know the story about all of these women. These women could be Rhodes Scholars for all we know, valedictorians, working, just working their butts off in the Portland, Oregon area. I got plenty of good friends that live in Portland that are doctors, lawyers, doing amazing things with their lives. They just happen to be in the same area where there's drug anarchy going on. Doesn't mean that they're doing that too. And just because she's in recovery does not mean that she was down there doing something bad. So we can't say the same thing about these women right off the bat until we actually get the proof or the honest information about them, right? I will say that. But let us continue. Let's get on to a little bit more of the information about, let's say, Kristen, okay? Now, of course, like I said, she was the first body to be found, okay? All right. So, first body to be found was on February 19th. Her name is Kristen Smith. She's 22 years old, had been missing since late December. See, again, a young woman that was missing for a good while, and then she was found on February 19th. Another pattern. She's taken, right? Taken against her will. And then a month and a half, it looks like, maybe, she is discarded. Very interesting. Her remains were found in a wooded area near an intersection in Pleasant Valley. The coroner had not ruled out on COD. Her family set up a GoFundMe to pay for her funeral expenses. They had been conducting their own searches for her and handed out missing persons flyers. On April 28th, a few weeks later, after Joanna's death, Charity Perry, 24, was found near Ainsworth State Park. Police will not release any more details about her demise for fear of compromising their investigation. There must be some sort of huge connection or something. The same day, an unidentified woman who police believe is of Native American or Native Alaskan descent was found unalive near an interstate within the same day. But it does make you wonder, were they taken as well? Were they taken and then, about 6 or 7 weeks later, were they discarded afterwards? You see what I'm saying? It does make you wonder. Okay. Now, hold on real quick. I got a super chat that I want to get here too. Elena, thank you so much for the 2. I live in Portland and it's not that crazy. Yeah. Like I said, the way that they have the information that they have out here, the narrative that they put out here. Okay. It could be certain areas of Portland that are not so great, but there's a lot of streets and in a lot of different cities all over the country. Okay. All over the world that, for a fact, you do not walk down that road, right? If you do not want to be in this area, in this particular town, in this particular time, trust and believe. Okay. Like the situation with the Tummy Tuck 4 in Mexico. Allegedly, they turned down the wrong road and then they caught a haze of bullets and then they were taken. Remember that? The Tummy Tuck 4 in Mexico? They drove down the wrong road, allegedly. And then they were napped. Right? So I feel like it's the same thing with any place. Okay? With any corner of this world. You don't want to go down that road, bruh. Why? Don't ask. Don't even. Just say less. I got you, right? Say less. But let's keep going. So she had 2 distinct tattoos, a black note with the letter V and a Buddha on her right upper back. She was found unalive. She was wearing rings and bracelets, a green long sleeve shirt, a black and white zip up jacket, jeans, and black and white Adidas cleats. Cleats, that's interesting. Sneakers, I'm assuming, unless she was taken while playing soccer. But anyway, Bridget Lynn Ramsey Webster, 31, was found on April 30th. Police say she was known to frequent Central Portland. The last body that was found was that of Ashley Reel, 22. Her remains were spotted by a fisherman. We already know about that part. She was last seen on surveillance footage, which we already know. And of course, they're saying they're working diligently with those respective law enforcement agencies to determine if these demises or if these deaths are actually connected. Okay. And they're, of course, working every lead, including tips we have received, so on and so forth, to find out what the heck actually happened here and why it happened, why this is happening, if there really is a connection here or not. But that is the main question. If there is a connection, what do these women have in common? If it's just straight up rando, then what is it that can connect them to one individual or to a group of individuals? That's the question that is still twirling around in my head. Where is the connection, right? But I do want to play a little bit of a news clip for you guys, because I don't know about you guys, but I got questions, still. If there is an SKer, then where is the connection? Where is it? It is wild that you find all these women within that radius in that short amount of time. But then again, unfortunately, we do live in a very, very messed up and evil world, and people are out here unaliving each other every single day. Could it possibly be that's the situation? But then it's weird. Some of them are taken for months at a time. They disappear for months at a time, and then boom, they're found in a wooded area. They're found in a park. They're found in a barn. They're found on the side of the road after being gone, after disappearing for weeks. And then suddenly out of the span of 3 months, all these women's bodies are found just splayed out like this. To me, there's got to be a connection. How can that happen? All coincidental. 6 individual monsters just decide around the same time to discard bodies within a 100-mile radius of each other. It just doesn't. The math isn't mathing for me. The way the math is mathing best in my mind is that something is up. I think there's one or a group of individuals that are doing these things together. Because there's some that have the same type of pattern. They're taken, they disappear for a while, and then they show up about a month and a half later. But it's still, what are the things that they found on the bodies? What are the clues? Are there any routines that were done on the bodies, like, clean nails and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Do they all have the same thing? Then the other question is, what are the motives? What would be the motives behind the demise of these all 6 women? What could be the reason? Right? What could be the reason? Burning questions, guys. I got so many burning questions. And Albus, what's up, man? It's been a minute. Welcome back to the family. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. Welcome back to the family, Albus. What's up, man? Hope you're blessed, my brother. But yeah, like I said, doesn't make any sense. And real quick, guys, do me a favor, okay? Just like Raven just said, we're almost at 300 likes. If you can hit the like button down below, that would really mean a lot. Really, seriously, that would really mean a lot. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. And we're going to get into this news clip right now. So let's take a look and hit the number 1. Let me know you guys can hear it. Let's rock and roll.
Wooded rural places. So tonight, it begs the question, Are these cases connected? And if so, how? Correspondent Jorge Ventura joins us live now. Jorge, this certainly has to be concerning, of course, not only to police, but to people who live there.
Brooke, that's right. Residents are very concerned as the city deals with this chilling mystery of 6 women who have been found dead, and their bodies have been found within 100 miles of each other just in the past 3 months. 6 women have been found dead in rural areas across the Portland metro. The remains of the first woman, Kristen Smith, were found on February 19th off of Southeast Faville Road on the borders of Portland and Happy Valley.
Her kids love her more than she could ever imagine.
Less than 2 months later, on April 8th, 32-year-old Joanna Speaks, a loving mother and sister, was found dead in rural Clark County.
Her sense of humor is going to be probably missed the most.
Definitely. She was so full of life.
The manner of Speaks' death, the only one determined, blunt force trauma to the head and neck area. Then, just 2 weeks later, on April 24th, officials discovered 2 more bodies, 24-year-old Charity Lynn Perry and a woman who has yet to be identified. A week later, Bridget Webster's remains were found near Mill Creek in rural Polk County.
Okay, guys, let me just say this really quick. Okay, look at that. Look at that pattern. Look at the information that we're receiving right now. Bang, 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 bang. Okay. Literally within, like, really, he did most of his this monster did most of his damage, or this monster did most of their damage. Okay. Because we don't know if it's a man or a woman. It's safe to assume that it's male, but at the same time, we're not going to go there. This monster went out of its way to do one in February, or at least the body was found in February, right? Because she was taken in December, late December. Body was found February 19th. But then maybe this individual got a little cocky, got a little arrogant, thinking, oh, piece of cake, and continued. But as you see, let's be real. April 8th, April 24th, April 24th again, April 30th, May 7th. It's bang, 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 like a waterfall. It's like this person, it's like they tried it out in December on that young woman, on that young girl, Kristen Smith, tried it with her, seemed to go off without a hitch, I guess, and then just went bang, 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 bang afterwards. Now, we hear that story with serial monsters all the live long day, where they do it once, they get their high, and then there's escalation because they're going, oh, okay, well, once isn't enough. I need to do it again. I need to chase that dragon. I need to chase that buzz. I need that high that I haven't had before ever in my life. And then all of a sudden, all these women are found. Pretty crazy. Now, of course, I know that there's some other people that are trying to see if maybe there's a connection with Brian Koberger with this, and I doubt it. Okay. But I've been seeing that through the grapevine online and whatnot. And there's not that I know of. I think this is a completely different individual that has done some very, 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 very bad things. And also at the same time, that would have mean that he would have had to do all of this and discard all of these bodies before he was arrested. So, like I said, this is a completely separate thing. I just want to make that abundantly clear. Okay. And real quick, Albus, wow. Thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. So welcome to the family, all of you that are a part of the family now. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Albus. I really do appreciate that. That really means a lot. And great. Thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. Thank you so, so very much. Okay. But to me, this shows to me that this is somebody who is up to no good. that this is somebody that is clearly caught a high, found a new thing, found a new addiction, whatever, maybe tried it out and it worked out for them and just hit the pedal to the metal. And it's crazy to think that some of these women could have crossed paths with each other, could have been sharing the same areas, sharing the same basement, being whatever, okay, by this particular monster. Is it a coincidence that they all just happen to be discarded in the way that they did this quickly? I don't know, guys. To me, this screams serial monster. Let's continue.
And in the most recent case, 22-year-old Ashley Rio was found dead in a heavily wooded area near Eagle Creek on May 7th. In most of these cases, the manner or cause of death have not been determined, but Portland Police Bureau and multiple county sheriffs are investigating for any connections.
It's definitely something that they're looking at. They're aware that there seems to be some similarities there, but it's too soon for them to say that there's, anything directly linked between these.
While the Clackamas County Sheriff Office says we are working with our partner agencies to determine if there are any connections between this case in Clackamas County and any others in the region. And the question that everyone wants the answer to, are these murders connected? And until that is answered, residents remain on edge.
Okay, let me just say this. They be connected. They're connected. They are connected. There is no way that all these. Okay. Let me just say this really quick. Okay. Let me just say this. Let me preface what I'm saying here real quick with this. Okay, because yes, it's easy for us to sit there and just straight up assume, speculate. It all goes down on how they all passed away. Real talk. Because, let's just be real. Let me bring back the photo. Okay, the photo of some of these women, okay? Some of the victims, all right? Let's just talk about this situation here. Okay. Now, again, I'm just saying this is speculation. This is a speculation warning. So I need to make it a sound bite. Speculation warning. You know what I mean? Before anybody gets upset, because this is not any disrespect to her, but I'm just using her as an example for this. Okay. Because somebody mentioned, hey, this person could have been lured in by recreationals. This could have been a situation by going after and trying to do some chemicals, God knows what. Let's talk about that for a second. What if it is that situation? You got to remember, if they have not said anything about their cause of demise, we haven't heard the cause of their passing. So let's point this out. One, how are they being found? Like, where exactly are they being found? Right now, of course, they had Joanna Speaks. Let me see if I can find her photo again. And I'm sorry if I'm going to be hopping back and forth here, but we got Joanna Speaks right here. Okay. Joanna Speaks. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. Nope. Okay. And by the way, Left Turn, has anybody seen The Idol yet? Has anybody seen The Idol yet? Asking for a friend. Anyway, Left Turn. I still don't know how I don't know. I just watched that and it was meh. Okay. But moving on. Let's use Joanna Speaks. She's right here. Okay. Joanna Speaks. She was found with trauma to the head. Okay. She was found with a blunt injury. Okay. Let's talk about that. Okay. We have that going on. Okay. This is the only one that we know that was most likely had her life taken against her will. They have not said anything else. And of course, I'm just talking about playing the other side of the fence really quick. Okay. All we know is that she's the only one with blunt trauma. The only one. Okay. Everybody else we don't know yet. Now, let's talk about the other people. the other young ones, because somebody mentioned, could have been lured in by chemicals and whatnot. We got to use these code words. Okay, let's talk about this. For example, we have Ashley Reel. Last time she was seen was on May 27th, before her remains were found on May 7th. Okay, and she was in a heavily wooded area in Eagle Creek. Now, how she was found is very sus and very terrible. But what happens? What happened to her? What was her COD? What was her cause of demise? What made her leave? What made her soul leave her body? Right? Now, if we find out that it's chemically induced, does that automatically mean that there's an S monster out here? Like I said, just playing the other side of the fence for just 2 seconds. Unless they do this proper autopsy report and those reports come back and they say, no, a blunt situation, then we got something here. But talking about the chemicals situation, some of these girls could have gone off and disappeared, gone down there, done some stuff, and maybe OD'd. Right? I'm just saying that could be that situation. It could be. I'm not saying it is. There's too many connections to this whole thing. And the way that they're all found just within weeks of each other is strange. Then on top of it, on top of that as well, is the fact that some of them went missing for weeks before they were found gone. So it does make you wonder, how long were they gone for? How long has their soul left their body? And what else was done to their bodies? And if there's any DNA that was left on those bodies. Again, it doesn't make any sense. Okay? It doesn't make any sense for them to, in my personal opinion, to just sit here and sit back and go, well, actually, it does make sense for them to sit here and say, we got to look into the information. We got to see what's going on here before we can automatically say, yep, it's an SKer. Now, but I will say, in my personal opinion, from what I am seeing right now, shoot, if it's not all of them, there is a connection between a good portion of them. I'll be real. Some of them could just be, I just don't know how someone would be found OD'd in a heavily wooded area in Eagle Creek. I just don't, that's the part I don't get, right? But then again, people do crazy things when somebody ODs right in front of them and they don't know what to do. They don't want to get in trouble by bringing them to the hospital. So they'll just go and get rid of the body. But I don't think it's fair to automatically assume that this young woman was out here putting chemicals in her body like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. So that's why I keep resorting back to the thought that these 6 women most definitely are victims of a very, very, very heinous crime. I believe that there is connection here. I know not everybody's going to agree with me on this, and that's fine. But I will tell you this, something ain't right. And if it's not all, it is some. There's no way you can have all those bodies be found in this pattern that they were found. Some of them were missing for a while, then their bodies show up, so on and so forth. Still, there are still pieces of this story that have not been brought up yet that I'm still wondering if there is connection to those as well. We have yet to hear those stories as of yet. We've only heard 2 of them so far. really. Actually, three out of the 6. And one of them, they haven't even fully identified yet. So I'm curious. I am very, very curious. I am very, very curious about that, guys. Again, how they are all connected. And of course, there's another piece of this information I forgot to say, and I want to point that out too. They did say something about there being similarities. There are similarities to these women, but they have not yet said that they are connected. So you have similarities, but they say not yet. They have not yet said, yes, this is connected. They have yet to say that right now. That's something I find extremely interesting as well. It's very weird, guys. It's very weird. But again, like I said, this is the information that we know so far. There are 6 women that were found within the span of 3 months. I mean, I don't know why I keep saying 4, but it feels like it's 4, but still 3 months doesn't matter. Within how they were all found and the way that they were found is pretty crazy and scary. Some of these women went missing, at least the stories that we know of on some of them. 3 out of the nearly half of them almost have the same story where they went missing for weeks before they were found. Okay. And let me make sure I got that correct really quick with you guys. So again, number 1, or one of them, is actually real. She was found on May 7th, but she had gone missing after being seen. Her last moment of being seen alive was on March 27th. So that young woman, okay, went missing. She was missing for weeks before she turned up again, gone in a wooded area in Eagle Creek. Okay. You have Kristen Smith. She had been missing since December, and she was found they said late December. She was found February 19th. She was the first body to be found. Okay. First body to be found. It is what it is. Don't worry. I will be talking about that in the very, very near future. Okay. Vicky, thank you so much. I think you're asking all the right questions, but unfortunately, I think you're saying unfortunately, but unfortunately, we aren't getting all the answers yet. Yeah, I know. This is the reason why I'm going, what the hell, man? And I would love for them to, kind of put some pep in their step, but I understand it takes some time to get the information, right? To get all of it. And I'm sure they're still running autopsies, and they're still, the medical examiner, I'm sure, is up to their elbows and just trying to get as much information as they can, combing through everything so that they can get as much evidence as they can, if they can even salvage any evidence. That's the other part too, right? But Kristen Smith, again, let me just say that she's number 2. She was missing. She went missing in late December and then was found in mid-February, mid to late February. Okay. Now, found the barn when I moved after she was gone. See, okay. So then 2. Okay. 2 were reported missing before they were found weeks later. Okay, so 2. All right. She vanished. No details on her, no details on the unidentified woman as well. Okay. So, and then Charity Lynn Perry. Let me see. Is there anything said about Charity Lynn Perry? Hold on. She was found. They have not released any. Yeah, they just said a few weeks later, Charity Perry, this young woman here, okay, she was found on April 24th. She was found near Ainsworth State Park. They haven't released any details of her demise for fear of compromising their investigation. So there could be some information here that, and like I said before, we do not know. Okay. It's crazy. Okay. So like I said, so two, okay, let me just stand corrected. Okay. Two of these women, let me show you their faces again. Two of these 6 women that were found, okay, in the Portland area, I guess, and surrounding areas of Portland, okay, 100-mile radius of each other were found. Some of them were taken, gone missing for months before, or for weeks before they were found. Some of them we don't know yet. But as you can see so far, there is a pattern, in my personal opinion. The way I'm seeing it, there is a pattern on how they were discarded, how they were let go. Now, one thing that could tie all these women together is the cause of their passing, what was done to their body, etc. If there's a ritual to what this monster was doing. Let me see. What is their motive, right? What is their MO, etc. All right. So this, as far as the dictionary says, okay, I'm just looking up what an S, what a serial monster is. Okay. A person who commits a series of M's, often with no apparent motive, and typically following a characteristic, predictable behavior pattern. So, with no apparent motive, obviously, there might not be a motive at all. This person just does it because they just really want to do it, right? Now, again, an SKer, let me show this to you guys. Sorry about that. I thought I had it up on the screen, but here it is. An SKer. Now, according to Wikipedia, okay, let me just say that too. Let me just preface that with, according to Wikipedia, a serial monster is typically a person who M's 3 or more persons, with the M's taking place over more than a month and including a significant period of time between them. While most authorities set a threshold of 3 M's, others extend it to 4 or lessen it to 2. Okay? Now, in my personal opinion, when I see these 6 women that have been gone within weeks or found within weeks of each other in this way, I'm telling you right now, this screams SK. This absolutely screams SK. Now that's the question. What do you think? Where does this sit in your heart, your mind, your soul, whatever makes you tick? What makes you think on all of this? Do you think there is a SKer out here doing the unthinkable? Do you? Or no? I got a lot of questions, y'all. I'm not kidding. But I think it all comes down to the autopsy, what they say the cause of the demise is, and also what else is done to the bodies. If there's something ritualistic, I mean, maybe I've watched way too many, true crime movies and, watched way too many movies like Seven. But it does make me wonder if there is a pattern or ritual other than just these bodies being discarded. Were they discarded in a certain way? Were they scrubbed down with no DNA? You know, were they, like I said, questions upon questions upon questions that still we do not know yet. They say 5 different agencies right now are working diligently on all of these cases to find out if there is a connection. And you know for a fact, as soon as they have some more information, and if they confirm, like, yes, absolutely, there is bad and there is an S monster out here running out here in these streets, you know you're going to hear from me first and foremost. But I'm telling you right now, man, I'm concerned. And that's why I say, everybody, if you live in that area, the surrounding areas, whatnot, because you never know clearly if this person, if it's one person, this monster is moving around within a 100-mile radius. God knows this radius could branch out to even more. So I urge every single last one of y'all, if you're in the area, if you're in the state of Oregon, keep your head on a swivel, keep your friends up to date on what's going on. And if there's more information, again, keep those things in the back of your mind, because this person might have a specific area that they like to hunt at. I know that sounds really messed up, but that could very well be the truth too. So again, keep your heads on a swivel. I care about you guys, and I want everybody to be safe. Okay? Just so you guys know. All right? But that is the show, guys. I appreciate you guys for being here. I got another show in about a little more than an hour and a half away from now. Again, I'm going to be sitting down and chopping it up with the great aunt of Diamond and Tianda Bradley, the Bradley girls that went missing about over 20 years ago. Okay. We will be talking to her. There's a huge TikTok video that went viral claiming that Diamond Bradley, or a girl claiming that she is Diamond Bradley. So we're going to be talking with her. I'm going to give you guys a breakdown of the story that happened in the early 2000s. Again, this is a case that's still ongoing for the past 20 some odd years, y'all. And there's a new break in the story that could solve one of the cases on what happened or where at least Diamond Bradley is. That case could get closed here very, very soon. So I have that interview with her at noon, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. So a little bit over an hour and a half from now. So please be sure to tune in. It's going to be one hell of a show. And then I have a little something I'm going to be doing with Jennifer Coffindaffer at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Still don't know if it's going to be live or if we're going to do it as a pop-up as well. But I will let you guys know what that decision is here when I get this other show done and going. But real quick, Kimberly, thank you so much for the 500 yen. I really do appreciate it. The way Pascal tries to keep it fair is pure gold. Thank you always. Thank you so much, Kimberly. I appreciate it. And everyone, please keep safe. There's so much sickness in our world today. Absolutely. I agree 110%. Yes, we all got to keep ourselves very, very safe. And Deanna Fisher, thank you so much for the buckaroo. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for all the love and energy. It really does mean a lot. Okay, guys, but do me a favor, add more energy to the story and to this show by hitting that like button down below. All right, that would really, really mean a lot. Send it past 500 likes before you head out. A like don't cost a thing, but it helps the story, helps get the show out there so that other people can consume and see what's really going on in the world. All right. And for those of y'all that live in the Portland area or in the state of Oregon, please, okay, share this feed. Let people know that this is just for real. And we all need to be much more vigilant out here because it's getting crazier and crazier, y'all. Okay. And for those of y'all who haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. And of course, thank you guys. Thank you to Albus for the gifts of the gifting 10 members that really meant so much to me. And I'm sure it really meant a lot to the new members of the show as well. Of course, let's not forget, I do have my Patreon. I got to keep pushing that Patreon. Please join my Patreon, patreon.com/the Pascal Show. It's very, very simple. Please go over there if you want to support in a different way. Okay. That would really, really mean a lot as well. Okay, guys. But anyway, it is time to get going. I'm going to see you guys in just a little bit. Again, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, exclusive interview with Diamond and Tianda Bradley's great aunt, who has been working diligently on trying to find those two missing girls for the past 20 years. Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I will see you guys very shortly. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.